Hello, UCR. What's your favorite scary movie?
A big hello out there to all of our creepy kittens and groovy ghoulies. We have come knocking on your door once again because the strangers, they keep on a calling, ladies and gentlemen. We have started our strangers retrospective in the lead up to the brand new Strangers film that is coming out this year. Actually, not one, not two, but 3 films. Whether they all come out in 2024 it remains to be seen. But like the Fear Street saga that was released, all these movies have been filmed back to back. They are ready to go. So we have a trilogy of terror coming our way. Hopefully you checked out our last review, which was for the original film, The Strangers from 2008. At the end of that, we had to wait 10 years. 10 whole years. I was gagging for a sequel pretty much straight away. I don't know about you guys. I was like, bring it on. I need to know what's happening. I need to know when.
I needed 10 years to recover.
Yeah. There's a lot of
10 years to recover. Too much emotional damage. But look, we got rock and rolled in 2018 when it finally happened. The Strangers Prey at Night was finally unleashed. Now, this one, despite the huge success of the original, it kind of just crept out, really. This movie didn't get the fanfare of the first one. And watching it again, I forgot how good a bloody movie this second one is.
It's a vibe.
I was like, it's a completely different vibe. That's the thing. The Brian Bertino movie was so claustrophobic, and you felt every inch of that house. Whereas in this one, the world is literally opened up, and that danger is everywhere. And it was very, very smartly done. I remember hearing about the concept for this for a long time. It was in development hell, obviously. And there was always that conversation about, do we see Kristen again? Is Kristen in there? I believe originally for a couple of the drafts, Kristen was the first kill. Do you think that would have damaged the first film?
I don't think it was necessary for this film.
If she survived everything and then managed to get killed, like poor Alice from...
No, I think it would have felt like a cop out, because that would be exactly like Alice from Friday 2. It's almost like if you saw her straight away in the sequel, you're like, okay, now she's dead. So I'm glad they left it alone, and this is its own thing.
It didn't need it.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. Like. As a final girl fan, I think we always kind of want to know that they got away and they have a life after it. But I'm happy for Kristen just to be. Well, she survived. Hopefully she survived that last movie.
Mentally, though, did she? I reckon she's not okay.
I wouldn't be okay. I wouldn't be okay either.
They left it open-ended, obviously. So if she survived, she's not okay. And if she didn't survive, obviously she's not okay.
Well, she's not okay. Exactly. So they went into development for this movie in August of 2008.
Oh, so this was going to be a back-to-back sequel.
Straight away, yep. They were in development, and they put it on hold around, I think, 2010, because they were not sure if there was still interest in the film. in making it happen. Then it went back. There was going to be there was a press release actually saying that it was going into production April 2011. It still didn't happen. It still didn't happen. 2015, it was rumored to be in production as well. To start scheduled shooting in 2016. That didn't happen. It's just like, wow. Finally, it happens in February of 2017 that we announced casting and there's a new director and all that kind of thing. And I think that, having a fresh director really helped this to differentiate it from the last movie. So as opposed to focusing on a couple, this time we're smokers. We're smokers. We're focusing on a small family, and they are taking their troubled daughter, to boarding school. But as always,
why is she so troubled? Why?
Well, she's just a teenage girl. She's a teenage girl.
We're always very troubled.
Poor thing. Yeah. So they have to stop overnight at a motorhome park, and guess who just happens to have taken up residence there?
The strangers.
Three very familiar faces. In doll-faced, the pin-up girl, and the sack-headed guy. The neighbors you don't want to see at all, ever. And like Katie said in the last review, the way that it was shot was really made you feel the isolation. This one did it too, but because it's a holiday park and it's not the holidays, it's this false sense of safety, I guess, in this one. There are houses all around, but those houses are empty, and you don't know what's in those houses. That's scary. That's scary on a whole different level.
And she even mentioned, everyone picks up and leaves after Labor Day.
After Labor Day, so it's a ghost town, essentially. It's a ghost town.
Real quick, Steve, because this was 10 years in development, so was this sequel actually set 10 years after the first movie, or they don't really tell you what the timeline was? It does say in the plot, it does say it's 10 years after. Okay. So they've been mastering their art for 10 years.
Definitely. So that makes me question where these new movies fit. There's a trilogy of new movies coming. Do they fit in the middle of The Strangers and Strangers Prey at Night? Do they happen before The Strangers? Who knows?
To me, if these three movies, one was before The Strangers, in the middle, and then present time, I think that would be a banger.
It'll be interesting to see, because I don't think these new movies are ignoring the fact that these sequels exist. I think that they are part of the universe.
I just a suggestion here. I think it would be a real banger if they.
We shall see. We shall see. So, yes, the three strangers arrive at the trailer park first and quickly dispatch, the residents, or two of the residents of the trailer park. Interestingly, you don't see that violence straight away. You get the is Tamara home, and you go, oh fuck,
can I just throw this out there?
Here we go again.
Does Tamara exist?
Are we ever going to find out who Tamara is? Or is she their first victim? Maybe in the trilogy.
Are you out there? Do you need help?
Maybe Luke's right. Maybe Tamara is the first person they attacked and she got away.
I just need to know.
We have to know.
Do you need help? Call us. Okay. All right.
We don't
maybe Charlize Theron's playing Tamara in the final sequel.
We don't like your friends, Tamara. We're not happy with your friends.
About Tamara right now. This is the second movie we've been talking about her, and we still can't find her.
I know. She's like
Katie's got feelings. Katie's cats are still going to eat her even in the sequel.
The cats were absent for this movie. I would not let them watch it with me. And the lights
They
were
were
on.
banned. They were banned.
They were banned.
So after the initial murder, which is not seen, which is, I feel like where the other one got us there straight away, this one's the slow burn to get us to it was get us there and edge us with the original one. This one's gonna go, oh, you want to see some violence? Not yet. Have some backstory first. So we meet Mike, Cindy, Luke, and Kinsey, who are all, on the road to take Kinsey to boarding school because she's been a bad, bad girl. Now, Christina Hendricks, yeah, she's a little bitch.
My friends are going to boarding school.
Yeah, Mike is played by Martin Henderson. I was just saying to Katie, Luke and I know Martin Henderson because he's a New Zealand actor and has been in a lot of stuff. But every time this man's in a horror movie, it doesn't end well for him.
For the Americans. He is the Sean Bean.
Yes. He is. Yeah. Kinsey is played by Bailey Madison and Luke is played by Lewis Pullman. A believable family. I like the family dynamic. A lot of the time, again, with where we praised the acting of Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler last time, this cast is good together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
think both films are perfectly cast. They've got their casting down pat.
I get the feeling that these two were young parents, they were young parents that are raising these kids the best way they know how, etc., etc. One of my favorite things is what's Queef? What's Queef? He's so disturbed. Like, what's Queef? It's like, oh.
I have some thoughts about the casting, and it's not bad. It's not bad, but
the only
thoughts.
My only thoughts was I feel like it was it felt like it was just kind of a come watch this movie, here big names, only to just kind of throw them away. Like you could have utilized them. They were very strong cast. Like they're good actors, they're great actors in fact. But you didn't use them to their ability.
I've got and I think I know why. Watching it again, I get why they did it. I wanted a little bit more for Christina Hendricks. I think she deserved a bit more.
Was she the mother? Yeah, she's the mother.
She's Cindy. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like she was the one that was like a little bit like I don't know. She wasn't badly cast, but she was like, it was just a little bit. She was a bit different to the rest.
I want to say the reference, but I'll wait until you get to the part, and then I'll say
we'll get there. So they are driving. They're driving they're driving to try and take her to boarding school, but they have to stop off on the way because the halfway point just happens to be a motorhome village where her uncle and aunt, run the place. Gee, I wonder what happened to her uncle and aunt.
Camera.
And it's a really, again, having just been over with you guys, there's no locked doors. It amazes me that still happens in this day and age. People don't lock their door. Well, Jeffrey Emmett doesn't lock the door. Doesn't lock his door all the time.
Why would you say that?
Because he's like, bitch, I've got a Ring doorbell. I'm like, well, lock the doors.
that was like okay. Number one, you did him dirty. Number two, you did a beautiful impression of him. Okay, so move on.
but the office to this motorhome village is unlocked. There's like food, drinks, everything just sitting there. And like the trust of small town, of small communities.
I have
it's doing what Halloween did. Like it's going, this was a safe place. This was a safe place until the real world comes into it.
I have
kind of fucks you up.
I have a feeling it wasn't though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling they didn't. Yeah,
you get bad vibes about the trailer park.
No, I have a feeling maybe they unlocked it when they thought like the family was coming, like shortly before, and then
maybe, but still to leave it open.
In general,
I don't know.
Yeah, but no
In
one's
general,
around.
that's
But no one's
I
around
know,
because
but
everyone's
still,
pissed off before
how do you
Labor
know? How do you know that no one's around?
Day. Okay,
Obviously,
fine.
someone was around because you got fucking
That's
murdered.
right.
Like,
Turns out that was wrong.
hello, and where are they now? Hello. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But
Okay,
they
go
are
look at the camera. Thank you.
these parents are struggling with their children, and that's fair. Like, that's fair. They
Yeah,
arrive. They're trying to
I can
have
relate.
one last, family moment of playing cards. When, of course, is Tamra home? No, she's not, and she just wanders off. Into it's like I thought no one was supposed. That would be ringing alarm bells all over me. I thought no one was supposed to be here. That would be. I'm like, where is this bitch walking from? To, like, why? I don't know if I'm just a suspicious person in general.
Yeah, but
Or-
you wouldn't assume that something really bad's gonna happen. You just think, oh, it's a weirdo. Like, whatever.
Well, and I don't remember whether it was the dad or the mom offering to call someone for her. Like, do you need some help? I'll call
Yeah, it
someone
was.
for you.
I think it was the dad. I think it was Mike. Yeah.
And meanwhile, if it were me, I'd be like, I'd
Yeah,
be
you get off my
daughter-
property. Call that fucking 911 girl.
Like, hi,
Walk that
we're in a
fucking duck.
seasonal property, and it's no one's here. Someone's here. You might want to check that out. They, I'm not one to call the cops all willy nilly, but that's suspicious.
That's very Karen-like, Katie. Like, oh, someone just knocked on my door. Send a car. Like,
I'm a white woman in distress. Help me.
Yes, that is very my MO. But listen, if I'm in an abandoned trailer park that is seasonal.
Yeah. Why are there people where did this bitch come from? Is my question. Like
that's lurking in the shadows. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little that's a little But
I would have called the cops
because
I would have called
a different race wandering around.
I would have
so
called
Steve, you would have went full Karen as well.
In an abandoned
Officer?
in an abandoned trailer park, yes, I would have, because it was, again, early hours of the morning. Like, it was late at night, early hours of the morning that they had stopped there. Like, what's this bitch wandering away into the darkness for? Like, holy fuck, come on. And then even stranger, these kids go for a walk.
Like, we would do that too. We would. Come on. Someone just knocked on the door. No one cares.
Yeah, let's wander out into the dark weirdness. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm going to let my kids wander out when there's a, stranger.
I mean, look, when I was like at a friend's house or not, we thought it was just great to go skinny dipping in crocodile-infested water. Like, sometimes we do strange things when we're young.
Luke, there's a strange person wandering around, a suspicious strange person wandering around, and you're going to let your kids go wander around with said strange person?
Well, they were bad parents. They've obviously failed because the daughters are mental. So, yes.
The daughter's problems are not their failure. Their failure is letting their children go wander out with a serial killer. That's their failure.
Then their children rapidly discover the mutilated bodies of their aunt and uncle. Lucky them.
That was their failure.
Lucky.
That's when you call the police. That's when you go, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, look, the calling of the police was going to try and happen, because meanwhile, back at the bloody trailer, of course, we get her.
This bitch back
is
again.
Tamra home? And that's when Cindy's like, okay, something's not right. Mama Head's like, find me them kids. Find me them kids. It's like, okay, who they find, and they are obviously hysterical because they've just seen mutilated bodies.
Of their loved ones.
Of their loved ones, and the writings on the window, just like in the last movie. It's like, okay, yes, mutilated bodies, but when there's messages and stuff, that's premeditation, people. That's something going on. It's time to run. So when Mike and Luke go back to find the bodies, Kinsey and Cindy return to the trailer to find all of their cell phones damaged in a pile together.
But see, this is another stupid part. Like, you question why they let them go walking, but now they've separated again. Oh, let's leave the women together. They won't get picked off.
Whoa.
No, let's be honest. I would not be leaving my mother and my daughter or whoever on their own when there's fucking dead people around. No.
Yeah, I would be splitting up.
No.
I don't think...
Sorry, it's the chauvinist in me, Katie. I would look after you. Okay, Bubs?
I feel like I would do better on my own that way.
in general, baby, I think they all what they should have done is gone and gotten the phones, gotten in the car and driven away. You don't question when somebody says, I have seen a mutilated body.
Yeah, I feel like that the move would be to get in the car.
I know the kids are fucked up, but they know they're not that fucked up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
the move is to get in the car and go.
To get them, but again, that's finding those phones all A together, B all fucking fucked up. That's like, oh no.
I mean,
oh
phones can be
no,
replaced.
that's the oh no moment. Yeah,
just get in the car and go. Just get in the car and go.
Yeah, and
that's
that slow burn moment when she's on the phone, and I think Cindy gets it before anyone else because even the way she's talking on the phone, I think she knows that they're still in the house. Before Kinsey can react to Dollface being there. Mum knows, she's got that extra sense. It's like, oh god,
these might be some of the dumber people in a horror movie. Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
And this is where I think we got a little shortchanged. I think this first attack / kill, I feel like Christina Hendricks deserved a little bit more.
They drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a lackluster. Like, I sort of was a bit shocked when she got off. I was like, is that her? Is she gone already? Like, is that it?
They drew Barrymore. Like, they drew you in with her name and then they killed her.
I think, because we've got to remember she was a big celebrity around that time. Mad Men was like, the show. So to have Christina Hendricks in the movie is the thing. But for the story that they're trying to tell, and I think, and we talked about it before, I think this movie is all about, for want of better explanation, realizing that your parents can't save you.
Okay, I get that.
And
then you're going to have to test. Not that the kids were not strong, because they were.
Oh, they were, but I just feel like they sidelined the parents that way because that's the story they wanted to tell, but it could have just been done a little better in Mum's case. We'll talk about Dad a little bit later on.
But do you reckon as the mum was...
If we had a little bit more of a chase scene, I don't know.
My thing is... If you're going to focus on the kids...
Yep.
Which, fine, great. And they were great. They were.
Yep.
Maybe bigger names, if that's what your focus is.
I don't know. I don't think you needed bigger names. I think they were strong enough actors to do it.
And that girl has been in everything. She has. Yeah. She's one of those people like, oh, I remember her. She's been in this, and this. Yeah. You just don't know her name.
Yeah. I think, and this is going to set, for someone who's not about the gore, this is going to sound out of character. But I think Cindy's death scene would have had more impact, right? So she got Kinsey up and out. She did the mum thing. She did what she was supposed to do. I think it would have had a little bit more impact if when she was escaping, she had a throat slit.
No. I think it was
because all you got was a stab in the back. It's graphic, and the fact that she had to watch her mother die is it? But I feel like for this movie, I don't know. There needed to be a bit more in that attack.
Think about the angle.
For me.
Think about the angle. She can see the stabbing.
But it's only one. Like, we only see it once.
That's enough for traumatize the kid.
That is more than enough.
But what I'm saying is, when we go back to that scene, more's happened. There's blood everywhere.
Well, they messed up the body.
We didn't see it. We didn't see it. So maybe that scene was longer, is what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe, but I mean,
maybe that scene was longer.
I mean, I only gotta see my mama get stabbed once to really.
I know, but I look, it's very out of character for me to say that, but I feel like it would have.
You wanted more impact, didn't you? It felt like she fizzled out.
I wanted more trauma points. I wanted to like.
I don't know. I felt it. Her saying "mommy." I mean, her saying "mommy." I mean, it felt.
Anytime.
Do you reckon Kinsey realized at that moment that she was a little bitch? Like,
no. The thing that this movie points out to me is you parents love your children too much.
I don't know. Bye. I don't know. After today, I'm feeling like I love them, but I need a break.
Like, these parents love.
Are you climbing out the trailer first? Are you, Katie? You're climbing out first.
I don't know that much.
Let Bobby go first.
I don't know that much, but I think I am going out for a pack of smokes and not coming right back.
So poor Kinsey has watched her mother, get knifed, and she's running out. She's running out into the wilderness of the trailer park, the abandoned trailer park. Meanwhile, Luke and his dad are, rediscovering the horror of, just the jaw. They had a lot of fun with those two. They had a lot of fun. At least they found the gun this time. They found the gun. And they found out that how they knew that they were coming. Like, they set all of this up because they heard the message on the answering machine. Like, again, it's this messed up, fucked up thing of fate just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. They set them up to the trailer where they wanted them to be, so they would be isolated. It's just like, it's so gross. Like, so that grosses me out. I'm like, oh no. That's so good. So we see
I know you're
probably.
I know you're going to probably bring up the soundtrack as well, use the soundtrack to this, and that's kind of why I threw on a little bit of 80s, because they really lean into all that 80s. Yes, baby. Is that why you've got a headband on?
No, that's because I didn't wash my hair today.
That's
so
gross.
The way I look at it, the way I like to compare it is the silence in the last film and the music being used to unnerve and cover up and all that kind of thing. This movie just comes in at full decibels and goes, we're gonna fucking. It's almost like they don't care who he is in this one, because all of the music is like A, 80s like rock, pop rock, but B, at ear-splitting levels, like in the middle of the night, and it's
I don't think
really effectively
I can listen to Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now the same way ever again.
The
that's
best
one of my
trailer
favorite 80s
ever.
bangers.
Best trailer, right?
The best trailer.
I think we're alone now. It's like, yes. So at least Mike finds a gun. Mike finds a gun and shoots. I don't know why you would ever let a gun out of your hand, but they are well and truly like fucking ready to rumble. Yeah, they find poor mum. I think that Martin Henderson's performance is great in here when he's like, oh, this is shit, but don't let the kids see. Like, that's he's a good dad. I feel sorry for him because what happens next is really pretty fucked up for him. That's a horrible situation to be. They're going to find Kinsey because, you know, once again, Kinsey's run off and
Being a
causing
little
trouble.
bitch.
They get something. I don't know what it
Going
is.
off the
Thrown
boat.
through their windshield. They crash their car, and poor Mike is impaled. Oh my god, by a fucking wooden beam that takes him out of the equation, well and truly. And this scene with him and the sack-headed guy is just so. It reminds me of the last scene in the last movie. Just that hopelessness where he knows what's going to happen. Like, he already knows when he comes to and this is fucking stuck in him that he's not going to make it. And he tells his son that he's proud of him. It's like, he knows he's going to die. But I think there's a big difference about knowing you're going to die from this horrible accident to knowing you're going to die when there's a fucking serial killer sitting next to you with an ice pick. Like, that complete desperation, frustration, fear, but resignation was he played it so well. I was like, Martin Henderson. I can't imagine like being in that situation knowing you're gonna die and
Was
waiting.
that, Cambodia?
Just waiting. What?
The song was it Cambodia?
Yeah, and just waiting, not knowing what that fucking guy is going to do to you, but knowing you're not getting out of there alive. That's so terrifying. So terrifying and really sad, actually. Like, as I said, this one took me on a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I'm like, these parents loved their kids so fucking much that they both died for them. It's like, okay, cool.
Well, you would.
It's like,
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the idea is not to die, but you know,
they died in a
The idea is
horrible
to fight
way.
as hard as you can to survive. The idea is not to die, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the ice pick. Oh,
You know, because if you die, this guy's going to end up eating your body.
Yeah. So Kinsey's still running around at this point, running around. Gets stabbed by Dollface, but her brother saves her. That I don't know. Again, this is fucked up horror movie thing. If I hear a fucking Jack in the Box playing, the last thing I'm going to do is go towards that sound.
Probably not after my parents are dead.
No. Probably. Oh, Katie's cat's trying to kill her.
We established that.
Like, yeah,
Dolls,
I love her. She'll give me the gun, I'll shoot her. Give me the gun, I'll shoot her. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a violent person, but I think if I'd seen my aunt and uncle dismembered and then pretty much left my dad to fucking die, I'd be shooting people.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Easy.
Straight away, point blank in the face multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
See, we're older. These are kids still. Like, I can see the hesitation there. But as people that have probably seen some shit, if you're in that situation, it's kill or be killed. Fucking shoot that bitch.
Now,
But again, as
yeah.
Steve said, I'm not going near Jack in the Box, puppets, dolls.
no.
Trailer parks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's getting real classist there, Luke. Yeah. Real fine line.
So this
I'm just saying, sometimes bad shit happens in a trailer park.
Yeah,
This
next thing caught me by surprise because I forgot about it. After they escaped Dollface. I was like, oh yeah, we're having a moment. Like, yeah, we're tough. And then a fucking truck comes through the trailer. I totally forgot about that. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. So they managed to escape. I don't know how. How
does anyone escape these movies? They get out in the weirdest fucking ways. I don't get it.
And the chase scene here, like where they have to split up, is
again
intense. I know, but like I feel the tension here. With her running around.
Did you feel it was justified they split up this time?
Yeah, look, I get that he was moving faster than her, so it made sense, but I still wouldn't have done it.
No, I wouldn't.
I still wouldn't have split it.
That felt very
It's tempting.
sacrificial lamb to me.
Yeah, it did. But that scene of her in the child's playground area with the truck circling, and you're like, why are you doing this? We haven't even begun yet. You're like, fuck off! Where do you come from? You can't. I would
Hate her so
like
much.
again.
Hate her so much.
There would have been feces everywhere.
You
Code
just
brown.
leave a trail of shit wherever you go. Apparently,
I would.
Code
And you know
brown.
what? I would
Another
hope
anal
that it would
aneurysm.
I would hope it would just
Anal leakage.
disturb
You should
people
get
that
that
much.
checked out.
You know.
Don't kill
So
me, I've already
Kinsey's-
shit myself.
Kinsey's under the porch, and Luke, I got us out of sync there, but I had to mention it because that scene was intense. I was like, oh, fucking mask out of nowhere.
hate her so much. I've never hated someone so much in my life.
And when he goes into that store, and all of a sudden she's behind him, and then she's gone, and there's a noise over here. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, this kid. I'm like, oh my god, run. I was like, don't even want to deal with it. And then they force him out into the pool area.
A very nice pool area.
A very nice
Oh, how
pool area.
cute
nice
was that
light-
pool?
Mm-hmm.
Very cute.
Very nice pool area in a trailer park. Imagine that, Luke.
You
I
know
do-
what, actually, Katie? A lot of the holiday parks here, the caravan parks where people holiday, have amazing pools. There's one here in town that's not open to the public because all the public wanted to go there. They're like, nope, you need a reservation to use it, and we don't let anyone in this postcode reserve here.
So they I remember I actually saw this one at the cinemas. I managed to see this movie.
I
at the
did
cinemas
too.
I thought
And
Me
this
too.
was a cheer moment when, or out of nowhere, fucking the pinup girl comes running and he fucking clobbers her
Boom.
with that golf club. She got fucking
bitch.
86. She got 86.
Good.
And then
deserved it.
the smartest thing I think I've seen in a horror movie: stabby, stab, 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 stab.
Mhm.
She gone.
That's like the smartest thing
But-
anyone in that
Yeah.
family did.
That pool scene, that was tense making. So well shot too. So well shot. Like
It's
Especially when
actually
they
making me want to rewatch again because this
Yeah,
is the one I've
like-
seen most recently, but I could go it
when
again.
when it happened, like everything above the water is so calm and the music's playing, and under the water they're fight. Like that was so well shot. But I was like, oh, and even what like as soon as he turned it, like the last thing I would do would turn my back on any of those fucking mask killers. Like I thought he was done. I was like, oh,
especially
that's
with
it.
the like that part of the song. Just turn around, like, oh, you
Yeah.
dead.
It's like we know what happens in that part of the song when it's in a horror movie. Choppity chop
Yeah,
chop.
urban
You know?
urban legend already showed us that.
Yeah,
Bye, Luke.
exactly.
Bye, Luke.
But even though it was violent,
That was super
the
violent.
the blood in the pool was a beautiful shot. Like it was beautifully shot.
Mhm.
Beautifully shot violence, and like I like that they're upping the stakes now. You know, as Luke said, he's like, I took one of yours. I'm like, yeah. Now, like the game's getting a bit easier, a bit more evenly pegged. So again, and I like what they do with sound in this movie. Not only the songs, but when there's trauma, there's like that disassociative like filter where it's like you're hearing things underwater, especially when he's like when Kinsey's dragging him out of the water and he's barely conscious. Then he snaps back into it. He's like, "Oh, I'm here." I thought that was really interestingly done.
Did not.
That
do
sound design.
the way.
I know. I forgot about it. I'm like, oh, fuck, he dies in the pool, doesn't he? And then I was like, no, wait, I swear he died. And then it's like I was on a bit
did
of
the same
a
thing. Like, I swear he died. like,
for some reason I
she
thought he
was
got hacked to pieces with the axe in the pool, but
yeah,
it's all good.
I thought the same thing. I thought she found
Maybe
him
we
in the
met-
pool.
we Mandela affected it or something, but it's all good. She
Manioned
she
it.
does we did it. She does a good sister thing. She's coming into her power finally. A bit late, but
Yeah, sister,
whatever.
get it.
She hides her brother and goes. It's fucked up as she is to get help. And out of nowhere, a fucking deputy's car. It's like, where have you been?
Could it
Where have
come
you been?
like half an hour ago when Mum and Dad were still alive?
They're never helpful.
Neither is this guy because
in the movies they were just
because this guy is sliced up as soon as he gets there. And that is like, and I've really liked Bailey Madison's reaction to the violence when it happens because she has this disbelief, like when you see people in shock, like that, like she portrays that well. She's like, oh fuck, and you can see her process and go, oh shit, right, I gotta run. Gets into that car and oh my god, the hands with the knife and the cutting and the stabbing but again, another woohoo moment was that pause before that shotgun blast. No. I was like, do it. And then all of a sudden, bam. And I remember in the cinemas, people were like cheering when that happened.
It wasn't meant to, I don't think, but that was very House of a Thousand Corpses. Not dragged out as long as it was. But that pause was just very.
Yeah. And you're like, that was like a fuck yeah moment.
Yeah, it's like
fuck yeah moment. Like, yes, girl, you do it. And this is where like Kidsy's balled up, she's like, I'm ready to go. Takes off the mask. And again, the scariest thing is it's just a normal girl underneath that mask. Could have been anyone. Why are you doing this? Why not? That's scary too. It's not even just because you're home. It's just because we fucking felt like it this time.
I hate it.
But
thanks.
Not the right answer because you're getting fucking shot in the head with a shotgun. I was like, okay, that's
girl.
awesome. That's bye girl. So that's two strangers down. There's only one left, and it's the big hulking scary one who decides to take out the police car with his fucking truck. It's kind of really fucked it up. I do love the twist of the truck getting stuck in the petrol, and then the whole thing of her smoking has been an issue. She's like, bye bye, motherfucker. Bang bang. And we thought it was over. Like I was like, okay, what a cool ending. And then like she's stumbling away as you do, and the fucking thing starts coming for her. On fire. It's like the nightmare that you can't wake up from. Like, of course, this flaming truck with a burning serial killer is now chasing me across the bridge until it stops. It's nightmare fuel. It's like this guy is never gonna stop. He's not stopping until he actually does. Like the injuries get him. And he stops, he drops, and Kinsey's out. What a fake out. I forgot about it.
Where have we seen that before?
I forgot about it. I forgot about this fake out, and it made me a little bit angry, but then I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. She flags down an oncoming motorist, and you see that woman back away, and like, oh, it's because she's covered in blood. Then all of a sudden you see an axe, like, oh, fuck, he's not dead. And then we do our big Texas Chainsaw Massacre moment, But the great, and again, calling back to her, her baseball days, she takes care of him with that baseball bat. Well and truly cracks that skull, leaves him for dead on the highway. Maybe. As the sun comes up again, this all happens in a night. We find Kinsey waking up in a hospital with Luke, on life support until she hears a Jack in the Box and a knock at the door.
Camera?
Go to black. Cut to black. Roll the credits. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. But
Where could
look,
they go from there? Are they
I
dead or
don't know.
alive? They killed them, unless there was more strangers
Oh,
and they just took turns being whoever.
you never
You
know.
just
And
never
I think
know.
that we won't know until this next trilogy and where it sits. But let's look at the facts, folks. After waiting for 10 years and being in development hell, this movie only had a $5 million budget, as opposed to the original film's $9 million budget, but still managed to make $32.1 million, which is no small return, on your
Mhm.
No, pumped
No.
it.
on your little, yeah. It's like, whew. And it was filmed, like, obviously it was filmed really quickly, began filming in June 2017 and finished by July 10th of the same year, released in October. So they went full force. Oh, no, sorry, it was released in March in 2018. Sorry, my bad. So the other movies at the time that were released at the same time were Hurricane Heist, for those of us that remember those,
No.
I remember that
Ringo,
one.
and A Wrinkle in
Gringo.
Time. But
Yeah,
this movie
none of them were
finished.
memorable.
Yes, but this
Was it
movie,
Get the
movie
Gringo?
finished.
The one with Mel Gibson?
No, it's just called Gringo.
No.
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
And
I
then
think that's
this
it.
movie finished third, but do you know what was number one?
What?
A little movie called Black Panther. This movie
Oh.
had no
Yeah.
no chance.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
chance.
no. Gringo
So it makes sense.
had Charlize Theron in it.
Well, look, and horror films always don't attract that huge audience. So when they still do well and can still be number 3, it's pretty good, because remember, you've got a limited audience too. See, all the teenagers and stuff are seeing the number 1 film, whereas this film was rated R. I assume
not
in the
even
States.
Black Panther was a cultural moment.
Oh,
Like,
it was
stood no
massive.
yeah, it stood no
Titanic would have
chance.
been number 2 to
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah,
Like,
but
And
I
Black
think
Panther was a masterpiece in general. It was so
I
good.
think that this movie deserves to be checked out. I think just as strong as the last movie is in its conceit of, isolationist horror and, it happening in one night in one house, this movie opens up the world and doesn't disappoint. The only thing I would have liked is a bigger chase scene, and something a bit more for Christina Hendricks. But I'm going to go 3 out of 3 for this one as well. I forgot how much I enjoyed this movie until I watched it again. I'm like, holy balls. Like, the soundtrack, the pacing, everything was good. The kid, the child, well, not child, but teenage actors were fantastic. And it kind of just upped things a level. And I think if the first movie was for people who really get behind the killers, this movie is for people who are like, yeah, let's see the killers get some, which is nice to see in a slasher movie that, they can get some grisly death. What about Luke? We'll go with you first because Katie went first last time. What do you say out of 3 creepy masks?
Out of 3 creepy masks, I'll give this one 2.5. I think the first film was all pretty much a masterpiece of horror. I think this is a very solid film, a very, very good sequel. So I can't really fault it. I just think there was just little minor issues, and one of them was, the mother's death, I think, needed something else to it. I think it needed some more tension or drama or something. It just felt like that snuffed out moment, but then that's probably what they were going for. But for me, it was like, oh, is that really it? But it's not just because of her. There was just a few little things that I have to drop at half a mask because it wasn't as good as the first one.
Fair enough. Lovely, Katie. Before you're murdered by your own animals.
And they're sleeping. They're over it. I have to agree with Luke. It's a 2.5 for me. It didn't feel it's a vibe for sure, but it just doesn't feel as strong. It doesn't keep me as hyped up as the other one did. For for some reason, I just don't care as much about these characters. Like, I care.
Kinsey's a little bitch.
Kinsey is a bitch, but I still care about her. I still cared how she turned out. Still cared about her and still cared that her and Luke got through it, but just not nearly as much as I cared about James and what's her face. I care about her so much I can't think of her name right now.
Kira.
Kristen.
Kristen. Yeah.
Kira. Liv Tyler. We know who you mean. Liv.
And that's not because I have a mom brain, so you're just gonna have to excuse me on this. I forget everything as soon as I set it down.
It's all good, but
no,
look, I think
and with Christina Hendricks, I think she got Drew Barrymore, but didn't get the Drew Barrymore treatment. I mean, Drew Barrymore's death is iconic, and she got changed.
That's okay though. Look, like not everything can be perfect.
Movie. It's still a solid sequel.
It's still underrated. I think it's definitely underrated.
Very underrated. Very
people
underrated.
should watch both of these movies. I think, but having watched them both back to back, they're a lot better than the stuff that's coming out. Like that has come out since. I think slashers went through a big period of until we got to the new Halloweens and the new Screams. So these were kind of like a bright, shining little moment.
These over the Halloweens.
And I think both of these films, as you were saying, Steve, both utilize their use of sound and music to perfection. The first film, even the lack of ways. Yes. And the second film to use commercial music that makes us feel safe to bring a sense of dread. Yeah. It was really well done.
Atmosphere. Yeah. And just very simple scares. Just it's great. It doesn't have to.
And visceral scares too. Like visceral moments of like, oh my God, I know something bad's gonna happen, but I don't know what it is.
They don't feel like they have to do this big kill to be effective. They don't have to go big to make it super scary. And I like that.
And you know what? The good thing is we don't have to wait 10 years for the next one.
Right.
We got three of them coming.
And we discussed this with Talk to Me. Like, sometimes going very simple is better. It gets the point across the same way as is if you got it super complicated and gory and CGI and all that.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, but it will not be long until we're talking about this again because The Strangers Chapter 1 will be in theaters on May 17th. Now, there is still not a lot of information as to what's happening, where this sits, if it'll incorporate parts of the story. All that we know is that those masks are back and it's terrorizing a brand new generation. So all of these, youngins are about to get an education in fear, which is all what we're all about, really. We love to see, different generations find movies like this, and I think this is an important one to discover. As we just said, it should be up there with the the modern day classics, I believe. So to have more is good. So we shall see. I'm eagerly awaiting Chapter 1 to see what unfolds. But until then,
Tamra.
Luke, Katie, thanks for joining us. If anyone knows who Tamra is, let us know.
Where she is.
I don't want her friends at my house. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Till next time, thank you for watching Uncensored Horror. Keep it creepy. Bye. serious